Today on Drawbli.
We are talking about why we love drawing, and you should too.
Hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Abby.
And we are self-taught artists documenting our journey of learning to draw, which is, of course, better with friends.
So click that subscribe button if you are new around here and share your artwork on Instagram with #Drawbli.
Share it. Abby, tell me, why do we love drawing so much?
Okay, so I thought about it just a little bit, and by a little bit, I do mean 5 minutes, about 15 minutes ago. And what I immediately thought of, I decided to stick with what I immediately thought of, was the fact that drawing is accessible to everybody at some level. You know, you don't have to have a lot of fancy equipment.
You don't have to have an iPad.
You don't have to have an
obviously.
iPad. You can have a stick and some dirt. And if you are feeling compelled to create art, you can create it with a stick and the dirt.
That's actually what your dad did growing up, a lot of that.
Yeah. Oh, we would.
Stuff that's still there today from when he was a kid, which is crazy. I think we've talked about it like once or twice on Drawbli.
I think it's definitely instilled my nature and my siblings' nature of just creating art with what's on hand. We'll crush like purple berries that we find growing and just paint on sidewalks. It makes your skin very itchy, but hey, what can you do?
As a quick remark on that topic, her dad has these old mud sculptures from when he was a kid and, you know, growing up, like in
Illinois.
Deep in the depths of Illinois.
Yes.
Where there are these just awesome sculptures made out of dirt, and they still stand there today.
I'll take you to see them sometime, Ben.
Wow.
That'd be cool.
All right, so what do you love about art, Abby? I mean, I know what I love about art.
Yeah, I mean, it's a piece of connection. It's a vulnerability. It's saying, like, this is what I'm thinking about. This is what I think looks cool and is looking good. Or this is just what I think expressing myself looks like right now. And we can all do that with varying levels of ability to convey our thoughts, but it's a piece of human connection. And I'm somebody who thinks that human connection is one of the things that life is all about.
Oh,
And
I like
so anything that gives you an ability to connect with another person and see what they're thinking and feeling and come together with them on that is just excellent.
That's cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah, and it's and for the best kind of human connections, I think, do require some level of making yourself more vulnerable. You know, saying something about yourself that maybe takes a little bit of courage to say. Which is not to say that these pieces in particular convey that, but I think every piece of art a little bit that you create, whether it's a doodle or a sketch, is saying just a little bit, you know? At least saying, I like to doodle.
At the very least, yes.
Yeah.
I like, I you know, for me, looking at this piece, you erased the face entirely.
A million times.
And then you went back over it. So that says to me about this piece, that tells me that you want the result to be acceptable.
Yeah.
You want the result to be like decent. You want to give it the old college try. Your best chance that you have here at success.
Yeah.
You don't want to do just like leave it as whatever.
I was thinking about this too. In a way, it's like you're not somebody who practices yoga, but you do boulder, and bouldering and yoga are both competitions with yourself to improve on how well and good you were yesterday, or last year. And it's not like a thing to prove to the world that you are great, but to gradually improve on what you could do a month ago, yesterday, and allow it to build, not for other people necessarily. I mean, who's yoga for? It's not for other people.
No.
Nobody goes to yoga performances.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah, it's completely for you, and art is allowed to be that as well. And not all art has to end up in a gallery or in an art book or even on Instagram or even shown to anybody at all. But I encourage people to show it.
Because drawing's better with friends, of course.
It is. It's a connecting piece. Like yoga is fun in a class.
Together.
Yeah, exactly. Drawing and doing yoga in a class, for example, to continue on that analogy, is awesome because the last time I'm in a yoga class, I see this girl, you know, do this amazing dancer pose, and I'm like, oh, I want to be able to do that. And then I practice it, and I get it, and then I'm like,
ooh.
So you inspire one another with that level of that kind of connection.
For sure. Rock climbing is the same. Art is the same. Well, you know, hopefully here on Drawbli we have the same effect, you know, inspiring others to try drawing more.
Right, because not all of us connect only through speaking or talking to a person. Not all of us are comfortable always talking to a lot of people all the time. A lot of us are introverts. It's very true. But nonetheless, we're humans and we do like to feel connected to one another. And so things like art, yoga, other forms of self-expression are very important in the lives of people who don't necessarily feel compelled to talk to everybody they meet. Now, do I talk to a lot of people? Heck yeah. I'm a little elevator chatty Cathy a lot of the time. It's probably the most obnoxious thing.
You are a nurse, so you do see a lot of people throughout the day.
And I love it. Oh.
Have to interact with a lot of, different walks of life.
Yes, so. It's such a gift. It truly, truly is. Like, I didn't always see it as that, especially when I was a new nurse, but now I've really come to value getting to just be privy to so many people's stories, whether it's a happy moment or in many cases a more difficult moment. It's just really cool to get to talk to people and hear about their lives and where they're at right now, where they've been. Yeah, so cool. What they like, what they're into.
Are they into drawing?
I had somebody who was really into watches. Actually, I had one lady who ran an art gallery.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
All right, so I also love drawing. I love drawing so much. I think I'm very drawn to the aspect. We joke here. I'm very attracted to the aspect of drawing that is kind of competing with yourself. I've always been really into self-improvement, and drawing is another one of those big steps in my life, like leaning more in that direction. I say often that, I learned one major art form already of the third dimension, and I could have just stopped there, and I could have continued to improve in digital sculpting, which of course I am. But I could have just said yeah, that's my thing. I'm good with that. I'm not going to do anything else. But I think that there's something so fun about drawing, just in the aspect of being a beginner again and coming back to something and being completely new at it.
Yeah, I think that's so cool how you embraced that wholeheartedly, and right from the get-go, you were very comfortable with
being from the get-go.
Very new, and you obviously at times has been frustrating, right? To know what people are capable of and to want to be capable of it as well.
Or if I'm just and if I was doing this in another medium, I could do this so much faster.
Yes, but you haven't let that stop you. I think in our culture, it's definitely not uncommon to see a lot of frustration with being new at something and not being good at it right away. Because in today's world, we're constantly confronted with people who are amazing at said thing, just really, really good. And they're there at a fingertip. And so I think it discourages many people from just pursuing a new thing for its own sake.
Well, let us be that for other people, where they can see other people who are bad at a thing. Hey guys, there's other people that are, not great at drawing out there. Let us be that for you.
Yeah, we're jogging maybe half a block up or half a block behind a lot of people, and you can catch up to us very easily, or you probably have already caught up and surpassed us. And I hope that's encouraging too, because that can, secretly deep down, doesn't it feel good sometimes just to be a little bit better than the last guy? Okay, we all said it. Moving on.
I didn't say it, for the record.
You didn't say it, for the record. I said it. I'm bad. I said it.
Getting some color on this piece, Abby. You're breaking away from your value study to put color on a piece.
Yeah, just a little overlay here. Just overlay.
And that's because you love art.
That's because I love art.
Yeah, you just let it lead you wherever.
Yeah. I just let it lead me wherever.
Back to black and white.
Back to black and white, because once I get color on it, I realize I don't like a lot of the fonts.
You realize you don't know how to use color.
I was determined to leave this really sketchy and plain and simple, but I kept going back to try to put more little details in it. It was fun. I had a lot of fun working on the skirt and the dress, actually.
So speaking of loving art, going into this, all these different value studies that you've clearly worked on here, is that what you would call these value studies?
That's what I chose to call them.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So going in, like, did you have a specific intention? Were you like, I really want to work on values specifically? Or were you like,
Yeah, value
shapes?
and form,
Okay.
and trying to match proportions decently well. Trying to say as much as I can with as little brushwork as I can. So I
Ooh, I like
intentionally
that.
chose a very smudgy brush to work with.
Very cool.
Which, limited my ability to get really noodly in my details. So I really liked that because it just let me let mistakes kind of ride, but say as much as I could with as
And
little.
that's so cool. That's such a cool piece. I love the way that turned out.
Thank you.
I love how
Thank
all
you.
of these turned out. I really like the person there with the bow.
Yeah.
Such a cool dramatic
I think in all
shot.
honesty, he's probably my favorite out of all these.
Yeah, these are all really cool.
Thank you very much.
And if you want to be really cool, click that like and subscribe button.
Share your work on Instagram with #Drawbli because drawing is better with friends.
And this is the part where we say
Goodbye.
Goomba.
What's going to be your next big thing you get really good at that you haven't even started yet?
Flying.
Oh, wow. Like a plane?
A little, but like, you see how big my arms have been getting?
Oh,
I've been
wow.
out back flapping for
Oh, you're going to be
days.
the first one.
Yeah, for sure.